Today's the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. For those of you that celebrate, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I was laying in bed. I had to get a ham ready for going to my in-laws. I was thinking about Saturn. So guess what? Today I'm going to give you Saturn energies, how they've worked on me, and then how they're working on all of us. Liz Green is a very interesting astrologer. Talked a lot about Saturn, and she wrote a book, Saturn, Oh God, You Devil, or something to that effect. And I'm not so sure that Saturn doesn't bring us the lessons from maybe the hell part of life. Saturn in astrology rules Capricorn. The sun goes into Capricorn and the end of December, and it's in there now, sitting at 2, going to almost 3 degrees. And so it's sitting in, for my chart, Sagittarius is at the very top, and I have Mars at 6 degrees. I have the South Node at 5, and I have Venus at 4 degrees of Sagittarius. So I dressed up for you. How do I look? Figured having Mars and Venus together, I wanted to at least look decent for you all this morning. Saturn for me also fell into my first house, and being that Saturn is the planet that what I consider the messenger planets, that and Jupiter as the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, bring the long-term generational lessons to us as they move so slow. They bring how the universe really works to us, so to speak. The personal or inner planets, the Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, are the lessons that we kind of, they're fleeting as those planets from our perspective move quickly. They are like quick moving, and I don't want to say they're reactionary, but I think you handle and you deal with them more on a personal perspective, because it's almost action and reaction, or that happens, or a reaction and your action, depending on what the event is. So I look at Saturn and Jupiter as the messenger planets, and by that I mean they relay kind of to the universe how you're doing. From the perspective, Saturn is the limiting, lesson teaching, keeper of time, why we age, wiseness, where we maybe get tripped up, where we have to deal with things and how we deal with them. And then, because I said limiting, I'm going to add it again, kind of we have to work harder. So whereas Saturn, from that perspective, as we do things, and then that gets sent maybe out to the universe, and then the universe sends messages or lessons back to us. I think that comes through Saturn. Pretty. I don't want to say harsh, but a lesson of, hey, you're going to have to do your part here. Sorry, not going to skip any steps. Jupiter, on the other hand, is more of a it wants to just go have fun, wander, experience, experiment, maybe too. And so those two work from either side. One's a limiting, restriction, lesson teaching. The other is we can do whatever we want. We can get done and go and do. And it's fun, and it's about experiencing. And so I think both those have to teach us both ends of the spectrum, like what astrology does. Jupiter is a 12-year cycle. Saturn is a 29-year cycle. So Saturn today, I'm going to talk about it in a way that's going to hopefully help you see how you, in your life, what you deal with really is heavily influenced by Saturn, wherever Saturn falls by sign and then by house in your natal chart, and then how society is really driven by Saturn and its cycles. 29 years is a Saturn, a little over 29 years a Saturn cycle. So wherever Saturn falls in your chart, whether it falls in a cardinal house, 1, 4, 7, or 10, or it falls in a fixed house, 2, 5, 8, and 11, or it falls in a mutable house, 3, 6, 9, and 12. that's lessons and how you're going to learn and what you're going to learn in this life. Now each quadrant, house 1 through 3, spring, 5 through 4 through 6 is summer, 7 through 9 is fall, and then 10 through 12 is winter. That depends on where you are, seasonality, and your progression. So you want to know your ascendant. You're going to need to find that out, and then figure out where Saturn is by house, and figure out should I be getting my ass moving? I'm in a cardinal house right now. Should I be more fixed and more stubborn in my ways, or mutable? Should I observe and become the master? Wherever Saturn is, if you start doing this, you're going to really start catapulting yourself in your life. Then you want to find which house, spring, summer, fall, winter, where Saturn is. And then you're going to start getting in your cycles. For me, I thought about Saturn today, not only because the sun's in Capricorn, which is Saturn ruled, but because Saturn for me fell in the first house. And because it runs in 29-year cycles, and I'm 57, guess what? It's back in my first house, coming to say hello again. And when I was born, very sick, shouldn't have made it. So when I turned 29, guess what happened? A lot of damn things to deal with health. Well, guess what's happened at 57? I'm dealing with health again. The only thing is I got better. I got smarter as I went along, and I got wiser. And I started doing things to become more healthy. In this venture with Saturn, what you're going to start seeing is cycles as Saturn's in Aquarius today. And the sign of Aquarius is about the future. It's about finding the truth. It's about technology. It's about what worked in the past and what's going to work in the future. For all of us, as you've noticed, the AI part of life has catapulted itself. Almost everything we do is, so they say, right? And I'm going to say they because I know the people that actually try to run this planet. And I'm not a conspiracy guy, so throw that out the window. Don't even comment on that. I've done so much research that I get what all this is doing. I get why I'm here, and I get why you're here. And so because Saturn's in my first house, it's time for me to go. And I want to share, and I want you to share with me, because I'm on a new 29-year cycle. So the following of Saturn and where it is by house and by sign for the rulers is very important. You're going to find trends that run 29-year cycles. Now, astrology is basically just a division of divide 29 by 1, divide by 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you do that, that's going to give you all your major aspects, a conjunction, an opposition, a trine, and a square. That, if you just learn that, that'll take you, I started in 2001. I'm still learning about that. So I beg you to figure that out for yourself. And just, it's a math equation. What the angle is, why it works, why they work with each other, why they don't. It's pretty simple once you get started there. And then you just go down that rabbit hole, and man, there's enough for you to learn. I learned in the shower. I learned laying in bed this morning. I learned, heck, talking to you. I learned when you write comments back. And so I'm giving you what I know because I think that's important. I think that's what's needed now. Information and the truth, that's where Saturn is, right, is being sought with way more of an intensity and a focus than it would in a normal whatever Saturn through a sign cycle because it's in Aquarius. Aquarius wants to find the truth. Just get to the truth. Just cut out all the peripheral stuff and get to the truth. Saturn doesn't like Aquarius because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus says, look, I know there's lessons to learn, but Uranus is where we want to learn the truth of how things really are. Uranus, along with Pluto, help us uncover the truth, to help us find how this thing really works or what it really is. And, you know, what it really is and how it really works is not what you think. You've been lied to. And I'm not even going to get discussions with anybody about that. Y'all can throw your comments out here or your opinions. I'm good with that. But this world that you live in is heavily influenced by a power that is not really maybe in your best interest to know what your true power is. If your true power was known, that You have what's within you is what you have, what you need, and your lessons are there. And if you could just take your life and work on that, you would become amazing. You tap into how this really works, how there's free energy available to all of us. There's ways of healing without a pill, without going to the doctor, without going to a psychologist or going to take a course. You have so much more information inside of you than you're ever going to give yourself credit. Maybe if you followed how our structure and our education system and our information pathways has been provided to us in the last, look at the last 30 years. Look what's happened. Last time Saturn was in Aquarius, they ramped this up to bring the internet, to a degree where it's coming to your house, full tilt, and you're really having to go somewhere else to. You have to learn, like, what you have inside of you, but you have to go somewhere else and learn to figure out that system to then come back and figure out what's inside of you. It's like, why did you go outside of you to figure that out? You didn't need to. You had it within you. But supposedly technology was going to make things better. In case you haven't noticed, there's a lot of things now you need to get out of who you are and go to a whole different thought process or thinking or way of being to figure out how to operate in this wherever you are, and then to come back to who you are. Don't kid yourself. As we've progressed, it's almost we've done this before, I guess. And in my opinion, remember, I'm a Saturn first houser. We get so smart, we're stupid. So it almost like we have to become non-physical at the end of a run, and I think we're close to the end of a run in our progression to where we become non-physical. So there's the remnants of what we've done and who we are not accessible to everybody in the future as they come back and look. I think we cycle through, and because I have Saturn in the first house, I couldn't learn this early. Saturn makes you old when you're young and young when you're old. So wherever you find that in your chart or find Capricorn, you maybe were kept from your knowledge of your past, your wiseness, your ability to comprehend and understand, and you had to fight like hell to get back to it. That's why when I came in here, I was very sick. When I turned 29, I got very sick again, and now I'm working with. Guess what? I got a bunch of stuff coming, but I'm smarter here. Not that it won't take me out, but I'm a lot smarter. And so what I want to tell you here is, in my life, the reason I'm passing this on to you is because I had opposite of my Saturn, I had Uranus, Pluto almost exactly conjunct. 1965 was a rare year of Uranus and Pluto conjunct, and it was in the sign of Virgo. I have it at exactly 17 degrees, almost by the minute exact. So, and it's in my 7th house of how I encounter others. I know people look at me and they go, nah, this is I hate to bring this up, but an older white guy. We're not really in favor right now. Males are not in favor. The white race seems to be getting pummeled. And I don't even get into that stuff. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you're from. I care about you. And I don't really care what you care about me. Other than the fact, if you get to know me, I think we probably have a connection if you're searching and trying to evolve. And that's what these videos are for. So I'm hoping that I can just hit home for all of you and help you advance. Because I have Pluto, it's the transformation planet. I have relationships that come and go, right? I deeply connect with people, or we don't connect at all because of the Pluto power struggle, so to speak. Well, my ego's gone, so that power struggle thing's gone, and I know if you don't want to be around me and I don't feel good around you, I know that, hey, we both have different paths. I'm good with that. You're not bad, I'm not bad. You're not better, I'm not better. You may teach me things, and so I try to be patient with that. That's what I keep telling you, being patient, but I'm careful. Now with Uranus there in the 7th house for me, this is why I like bringing things to you outside the box. I don't talk maybe in a fluid way. I bring things out of the blue, and that's just who I am. I don't mind that. I hope you don't, because I think it helps awaken. I bring things from a perspective where you might be thinking you're going down a path that me and you are connecting on, and then I throw something in there that makes you go, aha. or I throw something in there that you comment and makes me go aha. I don't care either way. I learn um, unbelievably well that way, and I'm hoping that I help you do that. I'm not going to be normal ever. I look normal. I mean, I walk down the street. I mean, I'm just an average, just individual, getting older. I know people don't want to hear maybe from the elder because they look crazy and stuff. I tell my kids that all the time. And so I just kind of joke with it. I'm like, look, I'm not gonna, I don't get upset like I used to, and I don't get fired up. Sometimes I don't say nothing, and my kids are look at me like, Dad, come on, man, that's not you. But I said, look, sometimes I look at myself and I assess where I am. I don't need to say anything. You don't need to hear an old guy's opinion, so kind of here as well. I'm a lot of fun. I joke around a lot. But I think that our messages and our learning needs to really step up. So today it's about Saturn, and today it's about you learning Saturn. Go to cycles, 29 years, divide them by 4. I always like divided by 4 because that squares, that hits, if you think of 360 degrees, or you think of a compass north, south, east, and west, every 90 degrees, right, is a new compass direction. And so I like to divide all the cycles, all the planet cycles by 4. So Saturn, 29, a little over 29 is a little over 7 years. You live in 7-year segments. All the trends in society go in 29-year cycles, whether you think so or not. They do. You go in 29-year cycles. Your cycles are broke down into 7-year chunks. Wake up, start living that way. Enjoy this and get ahead of it. That's how you and why you can kind of know where things are going and why they're going that way. Okay? Saturn's going to help you tremendously. Now we have other planets that help us, right? Especially the outer ones. They are the generational thing. So each generation, it seems to change because the outer planets have moved ever so slowly to a new sign. But Saturn is the driver here. If you want to get in the rhythm of your life, find Saturn and figure out where it is. Is it at the bottom of your chart, houses 1 through 6, or the top? Bottom of the chart is where you're working on you. Got to go inside. If it's at the very bottom in the 3rd or 4th house, you're going to be exhausted. Okay, you're going to be wondering, what the hell am I doing here? And it's true for everybody. I've done thousands and thousands of charts. I don't even really need to get into it, but I want to get into your life with you. I want you to figure yourself out because, by golly, I want to enjoy you. Now, today with the sun up at the top of my chart, I figured I'm going to throw some Saturn stuff out there. I got Venus and Mars helping me, right? Venus is going to maybe help me come across in a way that makes sense and is alluring or appealing to you. And Mars is going to hopefully help break and go, that sparks an idea with me. And so that's why I'm doing this today. By the way, they're in the sign of Sagittarius for me at birth. So I want to help your mind open and expand. So my life has been led Saturn in the 1st house. Old when I'm young, young when I'm old. The 7 years really get me. 29, I woke up and my whole life got flipped upside down. Each 14 years, when you split them in half, when I turned 14, man, girls totally screwed me up. In a good way, I guess. I didn't really want to be around them, whatever, but when Saturn went into my 7th house, girls, man, I couldn't, they threw me for a loop. I know they throw everybody for a loop, but that was my Saturn opposing my natal Saturn. And man, did that alter my life. When I turned 29, I divorced, went through divorce, or beginnings of a divorce. Didn't know what I was doing. I didn't divorce for 5, 6, 7 more years, but Saturn transited down to the bottom of my chart. That's where we live probably our biggest, from Saturn's perspective, because I do think it is the lesson teacher, but it also talks to us about hell. Saturn really threw me for a loop, and I went through my divorce, and man, was I searching. And what I was doing, I think what happens when Saturn transits the bottom of your chart, you are looking in it's almost like you're looking at a movie of you and you're just your soul as it is, and it's staring back, and you can't, it's you with you just facing you trying to figure you out. And man, do you sort some wonderful things out, but the problem is you're exhausted, you have so many questions, and you can't sort out how I couldn't sort of how I could be 29 and not have a damn clue. So I thought, when I'm 57, Saturn's back into my first house. I've evolved into that next phase. And I'm pushing astrology more, as y'all have noticed. I put the videos out because Saturn in Aquarius is going to bring the astrology to the forefront. And it has been, and it will continue to. But, you know, we're trying to teach it to you as it is, not as it's been laid out. There's been too much taught that's not true. I'm not going to argue with anybody about it. The truth is, there's a way, and it works, and it's applicable, but you got to get to it because you got to uncover or what I want to say, uncover or come to an understanding of the truth by having to uncover it. And the reason I'm telling you all this is, guess what's coming? Pluto, which is my next video, which will come out in the next few days, is in late Capricorn, but it's heading to Aquarius. So we are going to tap into the source. That's why all of this metaverse and all this bullshit about the control, you know, you don't know anything, it couldn't be further from the truth. The self-empowerment and the individual power and the knowledge and the wiseness and the understanding that you have deep within you needs to be accessed now. That's why the opposite is being exposed or trying to keep it from being exposed and tell you that, no, you have to go to the internet, you have to read this, you have to follow, here's a new rule, you can't do this, you can't, you know, you have no rights, that's why all that is just bubbling, because they're trying to keep you from finding yourself. I'm doing the opposite. Now, I may not be here long on this planet, I don't know, but I know I got a good 7-year run before I have to address some things that I might not make it to 7. I don't care if I do, but I know I got a good 7-year run here to try to help you, and you're going to help me as we uncover and discover what really is going on and who we really are and who we really have been. The truth is coming, but you got to go get it from your perspective, not from reading a headline. So I'm going to ask you, underneath here, tell me where Saturn is in your chart. I want to know by house and sign. At birth, and I want to know where it is now, transiting. And that you kind of understand this concept. I want this Saturn understanding to get out there. I need your help. So please, get it down below. I'm going to continue to put these out, and I will help. I put a video out about bringing astrology to your world. It's on my channel. It's 2 hours. If you look at that, I give you a lot of information that's going to be extremely beneficial. It's not from my knowledge. It's from what I've learned and what I've come to know and how I want to put it together, right? So it's me passing it to you, but it is the truth, okay? It's not, I didn't skew it so I could win. I put this out there so we all could become more. So I'm going to ask you to share that if you don't mind going back to it. I've teamed with Emmeline because she's really good. Y'all don't know this, but she's a very intelligent individual. She was a very high, she had a job that was extremely, took a lot of education, and you know, I think that it's some of the smarter, better, more powerful people can get into there. Problem was she was too good for that profession. I don't want to get into what she did, but she is a smart girl, and she has a lot that she's going to offer. It's just a matter of we just got to get it out of her, right? So she's working. I hope you help her more. Continue to help her. I shouldn't say help her more. Continue to help her because she's going to bring a lot to this world. And listen, you're going to bring a lot. I need you. So I'm hoping you keep watching. I hope you keep sharing. I'd like this to get out. I don't really care about the views and stuff. I know that I have a lot of close people I deal with, and I know in my interaction with them and their interaction with me, I'm going somewhere quick. Not in a popularity, I don't really care about that stuff, but as far as what I'm understanding and how this thing's uncovering, we have the opportunity to become free, unbelievably free. We got to get after it. So I'm coming to you Christmas Eve on 2022 with the sun in 2, almost 3 degrees of Sagittarius. I want to know what you understand. Sagittarius to me is, I want to know the video that you're making on the life that you're creating. I want to know what you think about life, what you understand, and I want you to get that out there. I'm doing that for you. That's why I'm here today doing this, and I'm going to see it back. So I am truly grateful. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and I hope you get ready because, man, are things changing. The lies are, I said we're at the final event in my last video, the lies are, they got a lie so damn bad now that it's almost comical. I hope you're seeing that, and it's just going to get worse. So, you know, at the very end, I know we're close of this thing flipping and changing because people are so sick of it, they're not even mad about it, right? They're not even hardly having to talk about it because it's just so out of whack. So the change is coming because we've, from the inside out, we've got that fire burning and our individualism is coming. The souls of what we've always been is emerging and the truth is coming. Pluto's moving to Aquarius soon. And that'll be my next video, Pluto. So I hope this helped you with Saturn. And man, I better see some comments. I appreciate the ones, I love the ones that comment because man, you guys are on your way and you're the people I want to surround myself with. You are searching and you are doing and you are accelerating at a rapid pace and you're on your way through this time of total transformation. So way to go, keep it up, and thank you. Take care.